On my birthday, I was in a car accident and rushed to the hospital covered in blood. Unexpectedly, I ran into my husband who had claimed he was on a business trip. He was accompanying his sick female subordinate, getting in 4 in the hospital. We looked at each other. He was full of guilt. Unable to explain, I nodded and calmly said, "What a coincidence." Then I left first. At the moment we walked away in opposite directions, I suddenly realized that he and I had reached the end. I lay on the hospital gurney covered in blood, still conscious. Medical staff pushed me quickly forward, the smell of disinfectant mixed with blood filling my nostrils. I tried to lift my head to see how many injuries I had, but the excruciating pain in my neck made me only able to face upward. 31-year-old female, car accident victim. Suspected cervical spine injury. Multiple external injuries all over the body. Needs immediate treatment. The voice faded away, the ambulance siren still buzzing in my ears. As consciousness gradually blurred, a familiar male voice suddenly came to my ears. "The 4 here is almost done. Well, observe for another half hour." Was it my hallucination? I actually heard John Wilson's voice. Didn't he say he was on a business trip today? I turned my head with all my strength, and through the corridor glass, I saw him. He was wearing a white shirt and suit pants, his jacket casually draped over his arm, supporting a long-haired girl sitting in the infusion room. The girl's face was pale. He was lowering his head and comforting her softly. That familiar yet strange scene instantly sobered me up. It was Sophie Brown, the new legal staff at his company. I remember her because John Wilson once said she was very capable and hoped to train her to stand on her own. How much Ning trained to have her hospitalized on my birthday. And he gave up accompanying me. Emily Smith. Don't move. The nurse's voice brought me back to reality. They saw me, looked at each other, full of guilt. I nodded, calmly said, "What a coincidence." I left first. At the moment we walked away in opposite directions, I suddenly realized that he and I had reached the end. That day was my 31st birthday. Originally, he said he would spend a special birthday with me, but early in the morning, he got a call saying there was an emergency at work and he had to go out of town. I didn't suspect anything. Drove to the company to handle work. On the way home, a car running a red light hit me from the side. At that moment, I felt dizzy, and when I came to, I was trapped in the deformed car door. Blood flowed down my forehead, but I couldn't even feel the pain, because the heart hurt more. On this birthday, not only did I suffer a car accident, but I also witnessed my husband's betrayal. At that moment, I felt utterly ridiculous. Lying in the hospital bed, I recalled all the clues. He had been working late often lately, occasionally avoiding me to answer calls, and sometimes had a faint perfume scent on his suit. I thought he was busy with a big project. I chose to understand him. Prepared late-night snacks for him. Waited for him to come home. Now thinking about it, I was a complete idiot. 5 years of marriage came to an end today. I closed my eyes, letting the doctor treat my wounds. Under the anesthesia, I fell into a drowsy sleep. When I woke up again, it was already evening. John stood in front of my hospital bed, his face full of anxiety and guilt. "Emily Smith, how are you? I just found out you were in a car accident." Looking at his feigned anxiety, I suddenly felt he was a stranger. This man, who was once my most trusted person. We were the envy of everyone on campus as a couple. After graduation, we worked hard and built a happy home together. But now, he's acting in front of me, and I don't even have the mood to expose him. "I'm fine," I said calmly. "Weren't you going out of town? Why are you in the hospital?" His expression visibly froze. I changed my itinerary at the last minute. A colleague in the company isn't feeling well. "Sophie," I interrupted him. "I saw her. She does look a bit under the weather." His face instantly turned ashen. "Emily, please listen to me. No need to explain," I said, closing my eyes tiredly. I'm exhausted and want to rest. He stood there hesitating for a while, then finally said nothing and turned to leave the ward. In the dead of night, lying in the hospital bed, tears streamed down my face silently. The pale moonlight outside the window shone on my face like a sharp knife, slowly cutting my heart to pieces. I thought I'd break down, go hysterical. But I didn't. I was unusually calm. Maybe it's because when you're truly heartbroken, you become extremely rational instead. I took out my phone and called my best friend. Ivy, help me look into John and Sophie's situation. There was a moment of silence on the other end of the phone. You already know. Yeah. I caught them today. I've wanted to tell you for a long time, but I didn't have solid evidence. They've been flirting for almost 2 months. It's an office romance, and a lot of people have noticed. I forced a bitter smile. I was just too stupid. What are you going to do? Get a divorce, I said firmly. But before that, I'll make them pay the price. Ivy sighed on the other end of the phone. Do you need my help? Help me collect evidence. The more detailed, the better. After hanging up the phone, I stared quietly at the ceiling. John, do you think I'm still that stupid woman who'd do anything for you? You're wrong. From today on, I'm no longer a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Since you've chosen to betray, you'd better be ready for revenge. 3 days after I was discharged from the hospital, Ivy sent me a detailed file. It turned out that John and Sophie's relationship started earlier than I thought. Their flirting began at a business dinner 3 months ago. At that time, as a new legal department employee, Sophie gave several unique suggestions for the project. John was deeply impressed by her and took special care of her afterwards. As time passed, their relationship became delicate. Everyone in the office knew about it. But I, the outsider, was kept in the dark. Looking at the photos Ivy sent, my hands trembled slightly. In the photo, John and Sophie were sitting in a coffee shop. They were chatting and laughing, and the smile on that man's face was something I hadn't seen in a long time. In another photo, they were walking on the street, and he naturally held an umbrella for her. His suit jacket was draped over her, and she snuggled into his arms. What a loving couple they looked. The most eye-catching one was the last photo. They were kissing in the company elevator. It was a screenshot from the surveillance 2 days ago, the day I was discharged from the hospital. Bang! I slammed my phone on the ground. So the guilty look he had in the hospital was all fake. While I was still lying in the hospital bed, he couldn't wait to go to her. I squatted down and took a deep breath. I couldn't panic, couldn't lose my composure, and definitely couldn't let them notice anything unusual. I must calmly finish all of this. In the morning, as usual, I prepared breakfast for John Wilson. Busy with work today? I asked nonchalantly. He chewed his sandwich without looking up. Yeah, working on a big project lately. Might pull an all-nighter. Is Sophie involved in that project? He paused noticeably. Why are you suddenly asking about her? No reason. Just heard she's very capable at work. I took a sip of coffee. Saw her at the hospital last time. Seemed unwell. You should look out for her. He put down the sandwich, eyeing me cautiously. Emily, about that day. We're all colleagues. It's normal to support each other. I smiled. I understand. He visibly relaxed, reaching to pat my head. You're the most sensible. I deftly avoided his hand. Hurry to work now. Don't be late. Watching him leave, I sneered. John, did you really think I'd be fooled so easily? At noon, I met with Sophie Brown. She arrived punctually in a white dress, makeup flawless, looking nothing like a mistress. Emily, she called sweetly. Never expected you'd invite me to lunch. I poured her tea. Why not? Wanted to chat since seeing you at the hospital. Her hands trembled slightly. Emily, about that day. Don't be nervous, I said with a smile. I invited you today to thank you. She froze. Thank me? Yes. I stirred my coffee elegantly. Thank you for showing me John's true colors. Otherwise, I'd still be clueless. Like a fool. Her expression changed. Emily, you've misunderstood. John and I are just coworkers. Coworkers kiss in elevators. I showed her the photo on my phone. Sophie, enough with the act. She finally dropped the pretense. Since you know, I'll be honest. Yes, I love John. And he loves me. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong. I lifted my coffee. Just wanted to say enjoy it while he still loves you. She scoffed. Emily Smith. Is that a threat? I'm stating facts. I set down the cup. Do you think John would divorce his wife for you? He cares too much about his image to let anyone know he's a cheater. Her face darkened. Stop sowing discord. John loves me. Oh. I chuckled. Then explain this. I pulled out a document John's recent itinerary. He promised to take you on a business trip in 2 days. Right. I flipped through it. Too bad. He had his assistant change the flight. 1 ticket. Just 1. Her face went pale. Sophie, you're just his plaything. Did you think he'd sacrifice anything for you? Don't be naive. I stood, straightening my clothes. My treat today. Consider it your final lesson. Leaving the restaurant, I heard the crash of dishes behind me. I knew a time bomb had been planted. John, aren't you terrified of scandal? Then I'll give you a taste of ruin. That night, John came home unusually late, reeking of alcohol, and collapsed on the sofa. I brought over some hangover soup but caught the familiar scent of perfume Sophie's signature. So he went to comfort her. Have some soup, I said gently. He mumbled and pulled me close. Emily, you're the best. Fighting nausea. I let him hold me. His phone rang suddenly. He was too drunk to notice. So I answered. John, why are you doing this to me? Sophie's hysterical sobs came through. You promised to take me to Shanghai. Why did you change your mind again? Are you afraid your wife will find out? You're such a coward. I sneered and hung up the phone. John Wilson seemed to be awakened by the sound and sat up staggeringly. Where's my phone? Where's the phone? Here. I handed him the phone. Sophie Brown called just now. He instantly sobered up a great deal. You answered it. Yes. I looked at him expressionlessly. She seemed very angry and said you stood her up. No. It's not what you think. He explained in a panic. She's just a colleague. Enough. I interrupted him. John, do you think I'm easy to deceive? He was stunned. Emily, from now on, you sleep in the study. I turned around and walked towards the bedroom. Wait until I figure out how to handle this. He staggered after me. Emily, please listen to my explanation. There's really nothing between me and her. I was just temporarily blinded by temptation. Do you think your explanation makes any sense now? I turned around. My voice cold. Go sleep in the study. Don't make me say it a 3rd time. Looking at his dejected back, I sneered in my heart. John, your show has just begun. The next day, I contacted a lawyer. 3 days later, I put the divorce agreement in front of John. He had just come home from a meeting and was completely stunned when he saw the documents on the table. What's this? Divorce agreement. I leaned against the sofa. I've read it. You can take a look too. He picked up the document, his hands shaking. Emily, are you crazy? Can't we talk about our problems properly? Talk about what? I sneered. Talk about you kissing Sophie in the elevator. Or talk about you being lovey-dovey with her in the coffee shop. His face instantly turned ashen. You know everything. I not only know, but I also have evidence. I took out my phone and showed him the photos. John, you'd better cooperate obediently. Otherwise, I don't mind sending these photos to everyone in the company. No. He panicked. Emily, please listen to my explanation. Sophie and I were just temporarily confused. I love you. I looked at him indifferently. Love me? Then why did you betray me? I don't know why either. He knelt in front of me, tears streaming down. I'm a jerk. I'm sorry. Please forgive me this time. I'll never do it again. Forgive you. I laughed. John, do you deserve it? I got up and walked to the window. In these 5 years of marriage, I gave you all my love. But what about you? You trampled on my sincerity. No. He hugged my leg. Emily, I know I was wrong. You can punish me however you want. Just don't divorce me. Okay. I looked down at him. Do you know? On my birthday, when I saw you with her in the hospital, my heart was already dead. He was stunned. I was lying on the stretcher covered in blood, while you were accompanying her for an drip. My voice was full of sarcasm. You said you were going on a business trip, but instead, you were her nurse. John, you're really a good man. Sorry. He cried hysterically. I'm a jerk. I deserve to die. Come on. Stop acting. I shook him off. Take a look at the agreement. If there's no problem, just sign it. I won't sign. He suddenly stood up. Emily, I can't live without you. I'll give you whatever you want. Let's start over. Okay. I looked at him coldly. Are you sure you won't sign? I won't sign. Unless you promise to forgive me. Fine. I took out my phone. Then I'll send these photos to the company group right now. Let everyone see what kind of person their respected Mr. Wilson is. No. He snatched my phone. You want me to sign? Right. I'll sign. Okay. Watching his trembling hand sign the agreement, I suddenly felt a sense of relief. John, from now on, we're no longer related. I picked up my bag and was about to leave. Wait. He called me. Are you really leaving? Are you so heartless? I looked back at him. You're the heartless one. You destroyed our marriage with your own hands. Give me a chance. He grabbed my hand frantically. I'll promise you anything. I'll fire Sophie right away and never see her again. Please don't leave. I shook off his hand. It's too late. When I walked out of the house, I didn't look back, because I knew this wasn't the end but the beginning. John, the pain you caused me, I'll return it to you 10-fold or 100-fold. After the divorce, I moved into the apartment Ivy Peter had prepared for me. John called and texted me every day, only to apologize, confess, and beg me to come back. I didn't reply to any of them. That day, Ivy Peter came to see me. Are you really going to do this? She asked with concern. Isn't it too risky? I added a sugar cube to my coffee. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. But, directly targeting his company, isn't it? What he cares about most is his career. I interrupted her. Since he loves his career so much, I'll let him taste the bitterness of losing everything. Ivy sighed. What do you need me to do? Help me arrange a meeting with David Clark, I said, taking a sip of coffee. Tell him I have evidence of embezzlement by senior executives at their company. She was stunned. You mean John Wilson and the chairman's son embezzling company funds together? I sneered. He thought he hid it well. But unfortunately, I've had the evidence for a long time. When did you? Since the day I discovered his betrayal. I put down the coffee cup. I've been collecting evidence against him. Now, it's time for him to pay the price. Ivy looked at me. You've changed. Yes. I smiled. I'm no longer that foolish woman crazy for love. That night, John came to see me again. He stood downstairs calling me. Emily Smith. I know you're home. Please see me. Okay. I walked to the balcony, looking down at his disheveled figure. After not seeing him for a month, he looked much haggard. His suit was no longer crisp, and his hair was messy. What do you want? My voice was cold. I miss you. His voice choked with tears. I've almost gone crazy this month. Without you, I really can't live. Then die, I said and was about to hang up. Wait, he said urgently. Sophie Brown and I have completely broken it off. I made her resign. Come back. Okay. Let's start over. I sneered. John, do you think this will make me change my mind? What do you want me to do? His voice sobbed. I'll do anything. Please give me a chance. Sorry. I'm over you. I prepared to close the balcony door. By the way, be careful with the company's stock recently. For some reason, I feel like something might happen. After saying that, I hung up. Through the glass, I saw him standing there dumbfounded. As if struck by lightning. John, you'll soon know what it feels like to lose everything. The next day, I met with David. He was John's company's biggest partner and had always held him in high regard. Emily Smith. Where is the evidence you mentioned? He got straight to the point. I opened my phone and played a recording. Listen to this. In the recording, John and the chairman's son were conspiring on how to embezzle funds to invest in private projects. David's face grew increasingly grim. When did this happen? 3 months ago. I put away my phone. But this is just the beginning. If you're interested, I can provide more evidence. What do you want? He stared at me. I want John to be ruined. I looked him straight in the eye. You can use this evidence however you like. My only request is, don't let him know it was me who provided it. David was silent for a moment. Do you hate him that much? Hate. I smiled. I'm just taking back what belongs to me. When leaving the restaurant, I received a text from Sophie. Bitch. Are you satisfied? Making me resign. Do you think John will come back to you? Dream on. I replied. Feeling down. Want to grab a drink. My treat. Soon. She met me at a bar. She wore heavy makeup and a sexy outfit. Looking like she was ready to seduce prey. Stop pretending. She lashed out as soon as she saw me. You just can't stand that John and I are good together. Can you? You've misunderstood. I poured her a drink. I came to apologize to you. She was taken aback. What? What I said to you that day was too harsh. I raised my glass. I apologize. You and John are truly in love. I shouldn't have interfered. She looked at me suspiciously. What are you really up to? Nothing. I said with a smile. I just wanted to tell you that John. He's waiting for me downstairs right now. Her face changed drastically. What do you mean? Just what it says. I took out my phone, turned on the location sharing, and said, Look. He's been standing downstairs for an hour. He comes to me every day, begging me to forgive him. You're lying. She snatched my phone. After seeing the location, her face changed instantly. How could he? So, I said I was wrong that day. I poured her another glass of wine. You're not his plaything at all. You're his stand-in. What stand-in? Has he been telling you to wear light makeup and dress conservatively recently? I smiled faintly. Has he also been taking you to those restaurants I like to go to? Her face looked worse and worse. Do you know why? I leaned closer to her. Because he's looking for my shadow in you. What he wants isn't you, but someone like me. Impossible. She screamed. He loves me. Really. I took out the recorder and pressed the play button. John Wilson's voice came out. Emily. Please come back. I really have nothing to do with her. She just looks a bit like you. I was just temporarily blinded by desire. I swear I'll never see her again. Please forgive me. Sophie Brown's face turned deathly pale instantly. You heard it too. I put away the recorder. In his eyes. You're just my substitute. No. It can't be. She shook her head. He said he would marry me. Marry you. I sneered. Do you really think he'll give up everything for you? What he cares about most is his reputation and career. You're just something to amuse him when he's bored. Shut up. She suddenly stood up. You venomous woman. You're just jealous of me. I calmly took a sip of wine and said, why don't you go and see for yourself? He's downstairs right now. You can ask him in person if he really loves you. She rushed out of the bar. I followed behind, watching her run towards John. John. She threw herself into his arms. You were really waiting for her. Why did you do this to me? Didn't you say you loved me? John panicked and pushed her away. Why are you here? I'm asking you a question. She shouted hysterically. Are you lying to me? Do you not love me at all? Keep your voice down. He looked around, afraid of being seen. Let's talk about it when we get back. I'm not going back. She grabbed his collar. Tell me, do you love me or not? Enough. He pushed her away. Sophie, wake up. It's impossible between us. Why is it impossible? Her makeup was all smeared. Is it because I'm not Emily? Because I'm just her stand-in? John's face changed. What? What are you talking about? Stop pretending. She laughed maniacally. You asked me to wear light makeup and imitate the way she talks. Do you think I don't know? You've never loved me at all. You're just a scumbag. She raised her hand to hit him. But he grabbed her hand. Sophie, calm down. He lowered his voice. This is the street. I don't want to calm down. She struggled. Are you afraid of people knowing what you've done? Everyone says Mr. Wilson is so perfect. But they don't know how hypocritical you are. Passers-by began to stop and watch. Some even took out their phones to record. John's face looked worse and worse. Enough. If you keep this up, I'll call the police. Call the police. She sneered. Fine. Let the police judge. Let them see how you've deceived me. He finally lost his patience and pushed her away. Sophie, I'm warning you. Stop acting crazy. Our relationship is over. Over. She staggered a few steps. You say it's over and it's over. What do you take me for? You know very well yourself. He gritted his teeth. You seduced me. Stop pretending to be innocent here. These words completely ignited her anger. Fine. She suddenly calmed down. John, aren't you most afraid of scandals? Then I'll let everyone know what kind of person you are. After saying that, she took out her phone and frantically posted on her social media. John tried to grab her phone, but it was too late. Soon, his phone started vibrating like crazy. Mr. Wilson, what's going on? Oh my God. Mr. Wilson is such a person. No wonder he divorced Ms. Smith. His face turned deathly pale instantly. Sophie was still laughing maniacally. Now, the whole world knows you're a scumbag. Your reputation is ruined. Completely ruined. I stood in the dark, watching all this. John. This is just the beginning. Next, it's David's turn to perform. Early the next morning, John received an urgent notice from the company. Because he and the chairman's son were reported for embezzling company funds, the company decided to investigate him. David Clark acted quickly. And before noon, the investigation results were out. John Wilson was suspended pending investigation. At the same time, Sophie Brown's exposé went viral online. The topic high-ranking executive's extramarital affair trended on social media. His scandal was blown out of proportion. And everyone condemned his actions. The once elite businessman had become a public enemy. John finally broke down. It was you behind this, wasn't it? He rushed to my apartment, banging on the door frantically. Emily Smith, open the door for me. I sat leisurely on the sofa, watching him act crazy on the security monitor. Didn't you say you loved me? I spoke into the door camera. Why are you acting like a rabid dog now? What do you want? He screamed at the camera. Is it money? I'll give you money. I'll give you all my assets. Please let me go. I sneered. John, do you think I care about money? Then what do you want? He knelt at the door. I'll agree to anything. Please don't ruin me. Too late. I stood up and walked to the door. You should have known this day would come when you betrayed me. It's my fault. He wailed on the floor. I really know I was wrong. I'll do anything you ask. Please save me. My voice was icy through the door. I'll ask you one last time. Why did you betray me in the first place? He froze. Is it because you thought I was too easygoing? That I'd never leave you. I continued. Is it because you thought I loved you so blindly that it didn't matter how much you hurt me? No, he murmured. I was just momentarily confused. Confused. I sneered. John. You betrayed me for 3 whole months. That's not momentary confusion. Did you think I'd always be that foolish Emily waiting for you to come home? My voice dripped with sarcasm. You're wrong. That Emily died in the hospital on her birthday. He slumped to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Now, have you tasted the consequences? I turned to leave. Stop embarrassing yourself here. Go home and wait for the police. Wait. He suddenly looked up. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. I sneered. Embezzlement means jail time. His face instantly paled. You. How do you know? Of course I know. I opened my phone and sent more evidence to his device. For example, where did all that embezzled investment money go? Enough. He yelled in despair. What do you really want? What do I want? I chuckled softly. I want to see you disgraced. I want to see you lose everything. Emily, you're so cruel. Yes. I am cruel. I didn't hold back. This is the result you created with your own hands. Footsteps echoed in the hallway as police officers approached. Mr. Wilson, please come with us. Watching him being led away, I suddenly felt a deep sense of satisfaction. John. This is your karma. But it wasn't over yet. I needed him to understand the full cost of hurting me. That evening, Sophie sent me a message. Bitch. It was all you're doing, wasn't it? I replied. What? Want revenge? Bring it on. I'm waiting. Soon. She asked to meet me on the rooftop. I knew what she intended, but I went anyway. She stood at the edge, looking drunk. Emily, are you satisfied now? She swayed unsteadily. You ruined John. And you ruined me. I ruined you. I sneered. You seduced a married man yourself. And you dare say I ruined you? Shut up. She shrieked hysterically. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, John would never have left me. He was never yours. I said coldly. You're just a mistress. You. She trembled with rage. Do you have any idea how much I sacrificed for him? I loved him. I truly loved him. Love. I scoffed. Are you even worthy? What do you mean? Does a woman who climbed her way up by seducing a married man even have the right to talk about love? I stepped closer to her. You're just after his money and status. That's all. No. She shook her head. I truly love him. Then why aren't you going to see him now? I sneered. He has nothing left. If you love him, go be with him. She froze. See. You can't even admit it yourself. I continued. What you've always wanted isn't love. It's profit. Shut up. She screamed and lunged at me. I easily dodged, watching her stumble a few steps. Sophie Brown. You chose this path, so you'll face the consequences. I turned to leave. But don't worry. You'll soon see John Wilson in detention. What do you mean? Her voice suddenly changed. You think I don't know that you handled some of those embezzled funds? I looked back at her. I've already handed all the evidence to the police. Just wait to be arrested. Her face instantly turned pale. No. Impossible. Nothing's impossible. I smiled. Right. Officer. The rooftop door suddenly swung open, and several police officers walked in. Ms. Sophie Brown. You're suspected of contract fraud. Please come with us. Watching her break down as she was taken away, I suddenly felt a deep satisfaction. That was the price. 3 months later, I sat in a cafe, scrolling through news on my phone. Prominent corporate executive suspected of embezzlement. First trial verdict. Mr. John sentenced to 5 years. Another suspect in commercial fraud case. Ms. Sophie sentenced to 3 years. Ivy Peter sat opposite me. So it's over. Yeah. I took a sip of coffee. It should be. What about that suicide note? I set down my cup. You mean the one John Wilson wrote in detention yesterday? Yes. Right after he finished. Ivy trailed off. You're talking about his suicide, aren't you? My voice was calm. He didn't forget to drag Sophie down to hell with him before dying. Did you read that note? I did. I rubbed my temples. It was just him saying how much he regretted it. How sorry he was to me. And that his biggest mistake in life was betraying me. That he deserved the punishment. Ivy sighed. So he really did love you. Love me. I scoffed. If that was love, he wouldn't have strangled Sophie in detention before killing himself. It was hatred for her ruining his life. For her making him lose everything. What about you? Ivy looked at me. Do you hate him? I fell silent. Hate. Maybe I did once. Hated his betrayal. His hypocrisy. Hated how he trampled on my sincerity. But now, I feel nothing. Just like he wrote in that note, Emily. I finally understand why you could leave me so calmly. Because true heartbreak is when you can't even be bothered to hate anymore. Let's go. I stood up. Time for work. Aren't you going to see them one last time? No. I smiled. Dead people aren't worth looking at. Walking out of the cafe. The sunlight was perfect. I looked up at the sky and suddenly felt light. The car accident on my birthday gave me a second chance. From now on, I'll live well. Not for love. Not for hatred. Just for myself.